Ink Ribbon.
Okay, I know I'm super late to this party, I am so sorry, but let's talk about the Resident Evil Showcase. As much as I'd love to talk about the demo or show you the demo, I can't because I don't have a PS5 yet, but we're going to talk about everything else that was shown. First, we're going to talk about, of course, Resident Evil Village and the tall lady, who is actually named Lady Dimitrescu. Oh my god, Dimitrescu. I don't know how to say her name. I'm just going to call her the tall woman. And Resident Evil community, what is going on? Every meme, every Reddit, Twitter, everything is just like,
step on me, mommy.
But it is what it is. You do you. When it comes to how tall she is, if you like really tall women, then you should be happy to know that she's actually almost 8 feet tall, which is taller than Nemesis. Up until this point, she may be the tallest Resident Evil monster, villain, whatever in the series, so that's noteworthy. Now, as far as what she is, I am erring on the side of vampire. For a long time, everyone was kind of saying that they were witches, but the amount of talk about blood, specifically man blood, leads me to believe that not only are they vampires, but they're also a matriarchy, which means that it's just nothing but women living in this, I guess, castle together. They also get very, very excited at the fact that Ethan is a man. They talk about, draining man blood and like, ooh, I haven't tasted a man or whatever they said in a long time. So again, that leads me to believe that it is some sort of matriarchy. And then people were mentioning one of their chokers had a jewel on it, and some people, the fan speculation on things, you never know what people are going to talk about. And that one specifically, people were talking about that it could be related to the device that Jill wears in Resident Evil 5 that controls her. I don't know about that. To me, it's just jewelry. But what it does remind me of is Alexia's choker in Resident Evil Code Veronica. If you remember that was a key item. And if that ended up being a key item, it would be really true to form, because a red stone or jewel has been a key item in Resident Evil games since the beginning, so it'd be very, very on brand for Resident Evil to do that. Now, another correction, and this still could be wrong, I and a lot of other people assumed that Daniel from Resistance was going to be in the game and that he was the guy with the glasses, but apparently his name is Heisenberg, and he doesn't sound French from what I heard. It could be a different name for him. I have no idea, because they really do look similar. But he seems interesting. I don't know what his deal is. He seems to have a telekinetic ability. If you watch the trailer, he's able to sort of make things around him float. And he also wields a really big homemade hammer thing, which means he's most likely going to be some sort of boss or enemy or something. So we have that to look forward to. And speaking of enemies, we've got these new sort of gangly, stumbling, pretty weak looking monsters, and some of them are wielding swords, and who knows how long they've been walking around like that. I'm wondering if they're blind, because if you look at their eyes, they're very sort of glazed over, sort of cataracts looking. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And just like Resident Evil 7, there are collectibles in the form of goat figures. So Resident Evil Village's gameplay is shaping up to be what I predicted it was going to be. It seems to be a mashup of Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 4 as far as gameplay goes. There's a lot of stuff returning from Resident Evil 4 that I never thought we'd see again, one of which is the Jigsaw inventory system, which as soon as I saw that, the first thing I thought was, oh god, my OCD inventory is gonna kick back in. I don't know if that happened to you guys when you played Resident Evil 4 and everything, the ammo has to go here and the guns have to go there, and oh my god, it made me crazy. But it was also fun. It was like inventory Tetris. So I'm okay with it. Another nod to Resident Evil 4 is the return of the merchant, sort of. It's not the merchant from Resident Evil 4 unless he had a lot of Big Macs, but instead it is a man named the Duke. But he definitely is the merchant. He even calls you stranger, which is a nice nod to Resident Evil 4, and he will serve as, the merchant. You can buy guns and ammo, you can sell things back to him, you can upgrade. So that's going to be nice to be able to upgrade your guns, because in Resident Evil 4, upgrading your weapons was a really fun thing to do, You start off weak and you make more money, and it's just, you know, it makes the gameplay more rounded out, in my opinion. I know not everyone agrees with that, but I like it. And while we're on Resident Evil 4, I noticed that the environments are super reminiscent of Resident Evil 4, especially the inside of like the, I guess, castle area. It looked so much like Salazar's castle in Resident Evil 4, and we know those assets are going to get reused, but it's okay because they're beautiful. I mean, the game looks fantastic. I'm more excited for Resident Evil 4 Remake after watching the trailer than I am for Village, but it's going to be like 2 more years before really we see anything on 4, so don't hold your breath. Now, as far as the story goes, we are still kind of in the dark, and I'm okay with that. A lot of you guys have been trying to tweet me spoilers, and I'm just like, you know, Neo in the Matrix, just like, don't do that. I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. The story is what I'm here for. So, yeah, we really don't know, and they didn't show much of the story, but I'm okay with that. We're just gonna have to play the game and find out. Now, for buying the game, there's 3 different versions of the game that you can pre-order. The first one is just the game. It's just the game. Now, if you pre-order the game, which doesn't cost you anything extra, it's just reserving the game for you, you get the Mr. Raccoon weapon charm, and then you get a survival resources pack, which is just like health and ammo and stuff at the beginning of the game, just like Resident Evil 7 did. The weapon charms, I don't know what they do. I'm assuming they give your weapon some sort of ability, but we'll have to play the game and find out. And then we have the deluxe edition, which is the game as well as a whole bunch of digital extras. So you get an in-game filtered, I guess make it more spooky. And unfortunately, one of those things is max difficulty, which implies that you won't be able to play the hardest difficulty without paying for DLC. Sorry. Save room music, specifically the Go Tell Aunt Rhody theme. The Tragedy of Ethan artworks, which it's digital, so I don't know if they like email it to you or what, but it's that. The Albert 01 gun that you unlock in Resident Evil 7, I assume with infinite ammo, but I don't know. A Mr. Everywhere bobblehead, which is also another weapon accessory that I have no idea what the hell it does. And lastly is tape recorder save option. I don't really know what that means. It just says tape recorder save options. So if you know what that means, let me know in the comments. And lastly, but most expensively, is the collector's edition, which is GameStop exclusive. This one comes with everything that I've mentioned before. It also comes with a really nice statue of Chris that you can put next to your Leon and or Jill statues from the other games if you happen to have those. It comes with a 64-page hardcover art book, a steelbook game case, and a reversible cloth map of the village. So the game comes out May 7th of this year, 2021, and they did something really cool. Aside from PS5 and Xbox Series X, you can also get it on PS4 and Xbox One. And like if you get the PS4 version and then you get a PS5, you can upgrade it for free. So if you're playing on current gen systems, you can play next gen when you're able to for free with no charge. And I thought that was really cool of Capcom to do that. The only thing I'm nervous about with the PS4 edition is, are we gonna have another Cyberpunk situation? But I think it's gonna be okay. And that is everything that was covered for Resident Evil Village. Now we're gonna move on to Infinite Darkness. Man, it's a good year to be a Resident Evil fan. So this is Netflix. See, I don't know whether to call it a film or a series now. I'm very confused because I thought it was a film, then you guys told me it was a series, and then when I was watching the showcase, they said it was a film, but everything online says it's a series. I don't know. So whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be Leon and Claire fighting zombies. So they've specified it is a zombie outbreak, but it does take place a couple years after Resident Evil 4, so I'm guessing the timeline is gonna be around 2006, 2007 maybe, which means there could be elements of like Las Plagas or something from the other viruses, but zombies, cool. They haven't given a release date, but they did say it will be releasing worldwide on Netflix this year. And I quickly want to mention that Tokyo Pop is also making a manga to go with the show or movie. The only reason I want to mention this is if you're a Resident Evil collector, Resident Evil manga tends to be extremely rare, and it sells out immediately, and then it becomes really, really hard to find. Some of the manga that's out there is like $1,000. You know, it becomes very sought after collector's item. So if you're into that, snag it while you can. And now the thing that I am least looking forward to talking about, not because of what it is, but because of you guys, is Reverse or RE-verse or whatever you want to call it. Maybe I'm just too much of a Resident Evil fan, or maybe I'm in denial, but I actually got excited when I saw it, especially knowing that it was going to be for free. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it is a new player versus player multiplayer kind of shooter game. I really don't want to say this. It's sort of like Umbrella Corps, but it's with characters and locations that we know and love. Something that I don't understand why Capcom didn't do right off the bat. I guess they were worried about canon, which is stupid because the Resident Evil canon is never broken by Capcom, ever.
You want stars? I'll give you stars.
So the demo of this that they showed took place in the RPD, and you're running around, and I mean, there was everybody. There was Hunk, there was Jack Baker, Leon, Claire, Jill, Chris. And what's really cool is it looks like when you're defeated as a human character, you turn into a monster. So there was like people, they get killed and then they turn into the Nemesis and bust out the rocket launcher and blow you up, or they turn into a Gamma Hunter or whatever. You could even play as like William and a tyrant. It was really cool, and it's still a little early to say. I didn't get access to the beta, so I'm not going to be able to play it. So I will just have to wait until that comes out. And just a quick mention as a developer, if you're worried or wondering why they have like that weird comic book effect, I can almost guarantee you it's just so that the game runs smoothly and doesn't like chug, because Resident Evil environments are very detailed, and so are the characters, and when you have like all that stuff going on, you know, at once, it will overload your console or computer. Something's wrong. Like, this is... Oh my god, I'm so frustrated. I loved Resident Evil Outbreak. I'm still playing Resident Evil Resistance. I'm trying to unlock everything before it's dead, and I'm willing to give this one a chance. I tried Umbrella Corps, and that was trash. Operation Raccoon City, but this one, I think, you know, it'll be just a fun thing to do. Maybe it'll turn into more, but either way, it's free if you're gonna get Resident Evil Village, and all you guys watching are probably gonna get Resident Evil Village, like, at some point, you know, even if you're gonna wait until it's on sale or whatever. Or you're gonna watch me play it in my live stream. But regardless about how you feel about Village or Infinite Darkness or RE-verse, Reverse, whatever, you have to admit it's a really good year to be a Resident Evil fan, because as unfortunate as the Capcom leaks were, not only are we getting all this now, but we know that there's going to be more coming. And I know that you guys want Outbreak and Code Veronica remake and all that stuff. I do too. Trust me, I really, really do. But, like, relax, give it time. Here's the thing. If Resident Evil 4 remake does really well, they will make more remakes. That's just, it's duh. You are selling something, it's making money, keep doing it. Keep the fans happy, make money, everyone wins. So Resident Evil 4 is, business-wise, the smarter thing to go with first. Whether or not you liked 4, that's just, business is business. And Capcom is doing what they gotta do. Now, Village, I understand you may not be a fan of the Resident Evil 7 style. I'm still gonna give it a chance. That's all the information I've got for you from the showcase, everything I researched online, and I hope I broke that down in a good way for you guys. Let me know in the comments, are you excited about any of this stuff? Are you mad? What are you? Let me know, because I've seen stuff on Twitter, but I want to know what you guys think, because the community reaction is all over the place. From the tall lady fetish to we hate Reverse to, yeah, there's a lot going on right now. I'm trying to keep up. And don't send me any more spoilers. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm Kai Morgan, and as always, thanks for watching Ink Ribbon. And a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Your extra support means the world to me and helps me keep making content for you guys.